What's up, good people? It's Vincent, and I am here with a few thoughts to just get us started for 2021. I want to talk to the creative about exactly how to navigate this year. And I think that's one of those things that's a little different from people in other industries and in other practices and other vocations, because, there are a lot of things that get to us. And while some of this can overlap to the everyman, I want to just talk to the creative. Before I start, I'd like to say thanks for joining me. If you get anything of value out of this, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help me out. I'm making a dedication to be with you at least once a week, every week this year. I'm saying it on the record to help keep myself accountable. That's one of my hard areas, is just my self-accountability, being able to push my own agenda. A lot of times in our line of work, as a filmmaker, as a content creator, it's a lot of pushing other people's agenda. It's a lot of pushing other people's ideas, a lot of pushing other people's goals and objectives. And very rarely have I been able to concentrate on me. I'm always at the bottom of the list because I don't pay myself. You go with who's paying you, right? What contract is live, what client is immediate. And then you've got family. I've got a beautiful wife, 2 amazing sons. One of them is just over 3 weeks old. And you get consumed with that. And I want to be very careful to be diligent this year about taking care of me. And one of the things that I love doing is sharing my ideas, sharing my thoughts, my perspective to other people who may see the world my way or who may see it antithetically to the way I see it, and we can start a vibrant conversation about it. And so here I am. I said, I'm not waiting for perfect. I'm not waiting until I finish getting my studio set up or clean my desk up or get stuff on the wall. That could be 4 weeks from now. I don't know. What I do know, and I get this from a Reddit thread, and I wish I would have the link to pull it up. But someone was on Reddit talking about this philosophy in parts of Europe that the more time you take to tidy up and prepare yourself to present to others, the less authentic the engagement is. And I really engage with that, not because I'm lazy and I hate cleaning up, but because I think that there are enough clinical channels on YouTube, and I think that there are enough people that want everything perfect and scripted and well, and I do enough of that for clients. I just want somewhere we can chill, somewhere where I can vibe and just, go off the rip. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't mean that there won't be more polished or more produced content coming down the line, or that, there won't even be opportunities where I'm using a teleprompter and, a script. This one, though, to get out the first week in January, I didn't care. Look, because I made a promise to myself every Tuesday of 2021, I'm gonna be with my people. And today I want to talk about navigating 2021 as a creative. And I've got 3 simple steps that I believe will help alleviate a little bit of the outside pressure and help keep you focused on your immediate and long-term goals. Instead of a to-do list or a bucket list or the New Year's resolutions, the thing is, I threw those out a couple of years ago. I realized that with my wife and my company, that my cycle doesn't start on January 1. And so my first thought is for you to find your season. Like, find that window of time in the year, every year, where things just start to open up and go well. Good emails come, good mail comes in the mailbox. There's a season of your annual year. If you just zoom out, even if you don't keep a calendar, maybe scroll through Instagram or look through your tweets or look through your Facebook posts. But when is it in the year that the most amazing things happen for you traditionally? It's like the stock market or anything else. A lot of our lives go on trends. The same way that the world goes around at a certain speed on a certain axis and it revolutionizes the sun at a certain rate, our lives also go by a certain pattern. So I'm not saying I take away from the joy and the jubilation of January 1. By all means, let's celebrate. We made it through 2020. We made it through 2020. That is not to be shunned or minimized. But you've got to know that if you don't start blowing up this January or February or March or April, it's not on you to make the calendar year work for you. It's on you to find your season, find that window of time, and then you work the heck out of that moment. Work that window of time and make that be what you celebrate about. Find that season. Think about it. Look through call logs, text messages, emails. When do you feel best? When do you have the most energy? Just like in the day you have a certain amount of energy, in the year you have a certain amount of energy as well. Find your season. That's my first point. That's not a New Year's resolution. That is a life revolution. Find your season and it will help meter your expectations, which is my second point. Manage your expectations. What do you expect to get done and by when? I'm not talking about December 31st anymore. I promise I'm not. I'm asking you to have a conversation with yourself and figure out when you want to get a thing done, when you want to check it off of the list. I have some long-term goals, some 10-year goals, some 5-year goals, and we can dive into those. I want to be an open book with people. But I want you to also make those same manageable goals, even in short term. I know how many short films I want to do this year. I want to get 5 done. I know I want to direct 6 music videos. I know I want to direct at least 1 featured film, and I want to direct 1 episode of television. Those are my quantifiable projects on this side. In my financial life, I want to go to $100,000 in my trading account. You know what I mean? And that's quantifiable. I can see that. I can measure that. Shout out to people like Chris Sane Jr., who are helping people like me on this journey. And shout out to just my tribe, my people in my text groups that we just encourage each other throughout the day, throughout the week with how to make more money off of the money we've already invested. That's what I want to do on that end. And then I want to get some credit cards paid off, get my wife's car paid off, buy a Tesla, buy a home. Those are my financial goals in the next, 13 or 14, 15 months, right? And then on this tip, like just for us, I want to post every week. I want to post every week starting today. And I want to engage. I want to grow my audience. I want to grow my platform. And I learned about disappointment when I was working at a church as a youth pastor. I was working for this one pastor, and I never felt like I was doing my job right. He was never patting me on my back the right way or mentoring me the right way or giving me the advice I wanted to get to grow as a minister, as a pastor, right? But I realized after looking at a track record that that's not his gift, that's not his ability. And so to my point, I realized, oh, I mismanaged my expectations. I set myself up for disappointment. And all you've got to do in order to alleviate disappointment is change your expectations. Somebody just woke up from their nap. What do you want? You want your iPad on. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Wait, there you go. I got it. Can you say hi?
Hi.
This is Milo. Milo is 2. Yeah, you're 2. And he would like to watch Cars. So we're going to put that on. All right, go away. Daddy's working really quick, okay?
Hi.
Bye, I'll see you later. Go to the living room. Okay, bye-bye. I had set up an expectation that only I knew about. It wasn't anything that anyone else knew about, and it couldn't be managed. It couldn't be quantified. That's the thing about creatives is we never know when the work is done. We never know when the screenplay is done and it's time to close out a fade in and start sending the script off, or when that last layer is finally done in Photoshop and it's time to send off the PSD, or when that format is finally perfect in AI and it's time to send off the Illustrator file. We don't know when the DAW has given us all it can give us and the beat is fine and it works. Gotta bounce that track out. Send it off. But we don't work like that because we're waiting for perfect. And the way that you find perfection is by getting rid of the idea that you alone can make it perfect. I didn't manage my expectations. I had an idea of how the relationship would work, and we never worked it out. And it was just me having an expectation, and that leaves all sorts of room for disappointment. So you've got to be able to manage your expectations. And then my final point is that you've got to learn how to network horizontally, network laterally. This is a note I got from Issa Rae, who's an amazing creator just in and of herself. Just the Issa Rae brand is mind-blowing in and of itself. I really admire her, and I've had the opportunity to work for Issa Rae Productions quite a few times. We've gotten to this place where our followership and our viewership and likes, analytics in general, they've become currency, and we use that to leverage our relationship with studios and networks and brands, and that's all good. And I'm not saying that that's not something that has use. What you cannot neglect is who's on your level, who's in your plane, who is the low-hanging fruit in your life that is willing to collaborate with you and work with you and barter with you and discount with you in order for you all to grow together. And, you know, I'll talk about relationships a lot on my channel. I learned from a really good friend of mine, Jeremy Foster, the pastor of Hope City here in Houston. He taught me almost 10 years ago, life moves at the speed of relationships. Life does not move at zip codes, IQs, credit scores, degrees on a wall. Life moves at the speed of your relationships. However healthy your relationships are, that's how fast your life moves. However you're able to embrace people, that's how well you move. I've been able to go where I've been able to go and meet who I've been able to meet, not because of this accelerometer that I have, but because of this peoplerometer. But seriously, because of my ability to just value people. Valuing people is one of those things that is so overlooked, especially in the age of social media and what can you do for me? If you can't do it for me or you don't follow me back, I'm unfollowing you and I'm moving on. Or, you know, it crushes and it cripples so many people. Once you learn the value of friendship, the value of your network, and you learn how to appreciate that without abusing it, I promise it all becomes smoother. It all becomes it becomes easier. It doesn't become easy. I'm not here to sell this idea that if you have more friends, filmmaking and fine art and music, it's all easy. That's not what I'm saying at all. I am saying if you have people you can trust and you're able to share your victories, your defeats, your ideas, that it does become easier than being closed up and trying to figure this thing out in a silo. I'm telling you, if you want to navigate 2021 well, you've got to be able to have vision. You've got to be able to know when your season is, know when your winning season is. What is that window of time that you excel? How do you prepare to get to that season, get through that season, and do what you need to do after that season, right? Find your season and then manage your expectations. Let's just manage how we expect 2021 to go for us and our season in general. Like, this is what I'm expecting. I'm not saying I want an overall deal by December 31st. I'm not saying I want a $10 million or $20 million movie in 2021. I'm not saying I want to direct a movie for this corporation in this. I'm going to manage my expectations and bring it down to a quantifiable measure. I want to just direct a movie, right? We'll quantify that. We'll quantify what that looks like. I want to do commercials. We'll quantify what that looks like. If I know I want to do some commercials and I start saying that enough, somebody's going to hire me for it. Somebody's going to send me a deck. Somebody's going to send me a script, right? Somebody's going to help me with an idea that I have, right? These are things that are measurable. And then finally, you work laterally. You network horizontally. And those people that are going to give you those opportunities are going to come through people you know. I'm done rambling. I think you got my ideas. I'd love to know in the comments how you're viewing this year, this season, you know, any of your goals. Feel free to share them. I'd love to read them next week and share my thoughts on them. And that's what we'll be doing week to week on this channel is just figuring it out, diving in, figuring out story, figuring out film set protocol, figuring out, you know, how to pitch commercials and how to manage shooting spaces and how to manage problems on set, what to do when you're dealing with celebrities, and how do you land people into stuff you're working on. We're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna break down other people's work. We're gonna have guests on. We're about to have a blast. Week after week. Hold me to it, and I'll hold you through it, right? I'm also cheesy, so you get used to that, right? Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to DM me, videos and photos or tag me and stuff. I'd love to see your work. I'd love to know what you're working on. Subscribe, like it. If you got any value out of it, share it with anybody. Comment in the bottom if you say, you know what, you got me thinking over here. Or if you say, I actually disagree, I'm gonna still give you a like, but I disagree with that point. I'm down for that too. I want to shout out a few channels that I'd love to recommend for those of you that are wanting to grow in the space. People like Brittany Janae, who's a dear friend of mine and someone I love learning from and learning with. Griffin Conway, Kevin Reyes, Danny Gavertz, just to name a few. Those are channels I know I can go to anytime I'm in a mental clog, and they help me get me through it. So I'll leave links to their pages below and any playlists or special videos from them. And with that, my special guest is coming to bid you farewell. You want to say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Wave at him, say bye-bye.
Bye.
You don't want to wave because you don't want to let go of your iPad. Okay,
Queen.
I'm going to put on Lightning McQueen for him and let him watch some more cars. And I'll see you next week, all right? I'll let you later. I love you dearly. God bless.